Is life good or what? Look around and just see all the sweet beings who've arrived here today and just smile and bless. We'd like to say smile and be great. Just smile and bless all of these beings, and then turn to someone you're sitting next to. Might be a family member, might not, but we're all in the same family. It's called the human race. And look at that being and just say, my. You are the glory of God. A perfect expression of infinite potential. You're just getting started because there's so much good in you. There's so much love in you. There's so much brilliance in you. Intelligence and power are flowing through you right now. And you have come to set it free, to make a mighty difference on this planet and to change the world for the better. Let's be about this together in the here and now, and so it is. Amen. Hug and agree. Touch and agree. This is Hug Life. Hug Life, yes. And so you're touching and agreeing and allowing a coherent field of infinite potential to be absolutely available for all of us. You're no longer in the field of the world of effects and circumstances. You're in the field of holy love and divine presence. So in substance, you have come out from among them, the lower frequencies of fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, not enoughness, racism, bigotry, fear, doubt, worry. You're out of that field now. You're in a field of holy love, a divine presence. You're stepping in big into the theme of the month, which is to go big and to go home. And you're becoming keenly aware of those who have been here the last couple of weeks. When we talk about the going big, we're talking about expanding our context for our life so that we are aware that we are indeed living, moving, and having our beingness in the presence of God. Not merely in the context of being a merely human, not merely in the context of being just the son or daughter of your parents, not merely in the context of where you were born, what city, what state, what country, but the context that you're beginning to live your life in through prayer and through meditation and life visioning is that your origin, your divine origin is the presence that's never an absence. So before time began, you existed. This is why you can understand the prayer, show me the glory I had with thee before the foundations of the earth, before the beginning of time. That is your context. That is to go big so that the thoughts that you obtain in consciousness are thoughts of God inspiration flowing through you, rather than narrowing your context of being merely human and obtaining thoughts of fear, doubt, and worry moving through the context of a human experience. No, that's not for you. That is not for the sons and daughters of the Most High, the noble beings of the Most High, God presence. No, you are to obtain your thoughts directly from the mind of the infinite, and then allow this incarnation to represent the presence of God like never, ever before. How can I say that? Because no one existed quite like you. You have never existed before. There'll never be another you never you in all of the cosmos. The presence of God never does a do-over, never repeats itself. It is infinite. And so you get to obtain the thoughts of the presence of God called inspiration. I want you to go big. Say, I'm going big today. My context is that I'm living in God. And then you go big and then you go home. Go home means you come to an awareness that you are perfect and complete already. Forget what the world has said about you. Forget what your so-called friends have said about you. Forget what they have said about you. And begin to hear what God is saying about you. God is saying you are perfect, you are whole, you are complete right now, because that's how you were created in the mind of the infinite. This completeness does not mean perfectionism or static, does not mean status quo. It means that there's an idea that's always unfolding forever. I have used the analogy in the past, just as a seed is a perfect and whole and complete idea, contained within that seed is an energetic pattern of an unfolding good that will become an orchard, that will produce more seeds, that will produce more orchards. You are a perfect idea held in the mind of God that is forever and ever unfolding, seeding into the universe brilliance and magnificence beyond what you can even imagine right now. Go big, and when you're home, you feel that about yourself. And so you are here today not to live from a second-hand revelation, but to live from a first-hand revelation of your oneness with God. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson that said, we do not truck with a second-hand gods. We have direct encounter with the presence of God. You are here to pray, to meditate, to vision, to have a first-hand realization of your oneness with the presence of God so that you can adjust and change and grow and be transformed moment by moment by the renewing of your mind. So many people are living from second-hand revelations. They're living a life from what has happened for someone else. They're living life from someone else's test and testimony. They're living life from memorizing what's happened in other people's lives, but not here. We're here as a practitioner consciousness. And I don't mean licensed practitioners. I mean beings who are practicing this stuff. So they're having a first-hand revelation of their oneness with the presence of God. And many people's lives don't change because they're merely listening to someone else. They're merely listening to me. I want you to listen to what I'm listening to. And then allow that to change your life, you see. You can't change by just listening to me. You have to listen to what I'm listening to change. And then that which no longer serves you dies off. It's eliminated. It's dissolved. Which is why when you read a little bit of Exodus and you see the individuals talking to Moses and they say, Moses, tell us what God said. We don't want to hear directly because if we hear directly from God, we're going to die. That's true. When you have a direct revelation from the presence of God, that which is unlike God, it dies. It's dissolved. And so many people, they don't want it. You see, they want to listen to me and pick and choose what they want to practice. You see, I don't know. But listen, don't listen to me because I'm making adjustments every year. With the greater insight, I'm changing every year just like you. Every year, I want a better version of me. So don't listen to me, listen to what I'm listening to and let your life change. We're talking about going big, going home, and letting the revelation unfold to a glory, to an even greater glory. This is what it means when we deal with the topic of spiraling up rather than going in circles. Anyone who has taken the foundation class from me in the last 30 years know that I will eventually put on the blackboard or the whiteboard or whatever board we're using in that particular moment an articulation of spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment. And I will share that it's not stair-step going up like that, nor is it linear. It's a spiral that continues to expand. So whenever you have an insight and a revelation, you don't go up like this. Your consciousness expands, meaning your ability to perceive and see the truth is widened so that instead of seeing life just like this, and you think that's all reality is, you have an insight and it expands. So you see more and more and more. It's a spiraling up rather than going around in circles. Individuals' lives go around in circles because their conversation goes around in circles. They keep having the same conversations over and over and over again, the same criticisms, the same pet peeves, the same conversation. You know what it's like? It's like when you're on Facebook, there's something called an echo chamber. And it figures out analytically, what you like, and then it feeds back to you what you already like. So you never get to break free into other aspects of Facebook because they say, no, he likes this. We're going to give him this. And so individuals develop their own inner echo chamber, have a circular conversation, and they keep radiating into their life the same old stuff, you see. You want to break free from that. And so through your spiritual practices, you break out of the echo chamber of your own perception, and you begin to be aware that you're surrounded by a broadcast of the presence of God that is infinite, and it begins to change your life so that you have a direct encounter with the presence through devotion, through adoration, through availability, through surrender, through contact. And then change occurs. That which no longer serves you falls away. You see the face of God and you die. I'm not talking about the spiritual part of you. I'm talking about the personality part that is into anxiousness and fear and doubt and worry, lack, limitation, not enoughness, afraid for its body temple. Everything's about survival only. That dies. And you start to lean on something that's greater than your little self. And you start to yield to it and surrender to it. And it carries you to depths of greatness beyond your wildest imagining. I was speaking to a young man yesterday at Sacred Service Saturday, and he was offering his gratitude and thanksgiving for the center here and how it had changed his life. And then as I was walking away, he said, he said to me, I just want to get what you know. You said you seem to walk through life with so much confidence and yourself and just like you just radiate this. And he said, how do you do that? I said, first of all, I don't have confidence in me. I got confidence in life. I have confidence in God. I have confidence in the universal principles. Just as a pilot has confidence in the law of aerodynamics, as a person that's driving, that's navigating a boat has confidence in the law of buoyancy, I've got confidence in the presence of God. I can't have confidence in little Michael, you see. I got to have confidence in something bigger than that. And so I learned to lean into that because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm just leaning into the presence, and then the presence makes me look like a genius. I lean into it, I surrender to it, and say, oh, that's a good idea. It ain't my idea. It's the divine mind speaking through me, you see? I said, oh. And so, as we start to have a direct encounter with the presence, we don't have to have false confidence in ourselves and in our intellect and our power and our body and all that, because all of that is going to betray you at some point. At some point, your memory may betray you, your body temple may betray you. There's something may betray you in the external, but what's not going to betray you is the presence that is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You lean on that, and then you start to spiral up. And then you'll be able to notice the conversations that are going on that are cyclical, that keeps you going in circles. You start to see the anxiety, the fear, the doubt, and the worry, and you see that mainly it's mental habits. The only thing that separates beings are their habits. Everyone has the same stuff. We've all been given everything. There's no one missing anything, but it's your habits that determine the trajectory of your life. And so when you look at the habits, you're worried about this, you're anxious about that, you're fearful about that. And then even when those particular things are removed, the mind in its habitual form will look for something else to be anxious about, worried about, nervous about. Somebody comes along and just takes away everything you're worried about. If you don't change that habit, it's going to create something else for you to worry about. And then the universe is going to give it to you to experience. The universe says, listen, oh, they want to experience something else to be worried about. Let's give them this. Let's give them that. And then what happens is you're walking in heaven and all you're seeing is hell. You see? Your mind will just start to gravitate and start to hear all kinds of stuff about what you need to be afraid of when all around you is a presence of infinite opportunities, divine possibilities, open doors everywhere. And because you think that door is closed, oh, there's so many other ways to be of service to the power and the presence and the love of God, but you have to develop a different habit mentally. You can't keep going around in circles in your inner conversation. You got to spiral up with insight. And then as that expands, then the universe through its law will see the gratitude and the thanksgiving and the appreciation and what you're looking for. And then beyond your wildest imagination, good will flow into your life that you cannot take credit for. You puff yourself up and say, yeah, I did that. But It was an alignment with the presence. Electrician cannot take credit for electricity. It just knows how to put things in alignment so that we can have some luminosity. You see? You open yourself up at that level. And then this presence begins to shine and express through you. So we're spiraling up rather than just going around in circles in our own echo chamber, getting feedback from what we already believe and our limited perception. No. When you cannot look at the face of God and live, you cannot have a direct encounter and live as you previously lived before. Something falls off, and you begin to see that the habits that you have had mentally have determined the velocity of your experience, label it good or bad, and so we're changing our habits. And so when we have a direct encounter, we begin to see, oh my God, look at all these things in my life that needed to die, that need to change. And then you would say to yourself, if I would have known this earlier, I would have changed that. You see, we say that to ourselves, but it only happens at the moment of reckoning, and you can see it. Even when we look out into the world, we can, people have said things like, if I would have been alive during the days of slavery, I would have been an abolitionist. Or if I would have been alive during the time when they had the Tuskegee experiments on black people, I would have spoken up. Or if I would have been alive when they were creating genocide on the Native Americans, I would have spoken up. Well, you're living now, and they're driving pipelines through Native American culture. You're living now, and your government is taking kids from individuals who are looking for asylum in America. And so you don't have to go into the past and say, oh, if I would have been alive, I would have spoken up. I would have written my congressman or something like that. No. You can have a direct encounter with the presence and say, let me look around and see what I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to stain on my karmic record for not disavowing from the nonsense that is happening. And so you have to raise your voice and your pen. And you have to say, I am not trucking with taking kids away from parents. I am not trucking with driving pipelines through Native American territory. You have to clear up your own karma now. You see, even if you don't feel you can do anything about it, you have to disavow yourself from that which will look later on in the future, and we will say, that was some terrible stuff. Holocaust was terrible. African American Holocaust, terrible. Jewish Holocaust, terrible. Interning Japanese into internment camps, terrible. We will say that, but we're going to say about some stuff going on now, terrible. You have to disavow yourself. You have to look into the face of God and see what's not working individually and collectively. Disavow yourself from it. And then begin to articulate a higher vision for your life individually and a higher vision for the societal life, so that you are walking in the light of the presence of God, doing what you're called to do, even if it's just simply disavowing yourself from that which has become normalized, that which has become, they're doing something crazy again. Somewhere along the line, when you look at yourself and see you doing that crazy thought again, I'm thinking that again. This is how that works. Just like on Facebook, you have the echo chamber. You create an echo chamber with your friends. And they will know exactly what to say to get that complaint from you. They'll give you an echo. They'll know exactly what to say. And what do you think about so-and-so? Oh, God. Yeah, what's she doing now? They'll create an echo chamber that you can't get out of until you have a direct encounter. In the same way it happens on the societal level, we create an echo chamber of all this nonsense going on, and we do nothing about it. We have to disavow, see from a larger perception, and articulate a higher vision. Are you following what I'm saying here? Are you picking up what I'm vibrationally putting down here? Because I'm talking about an individual transformation to direct encounter And we're talking about a collective growth, development, and unfoldment by ourselves coming out of the old echo chamber of our complaints and standing in a dynamic vision of infinite possibility. So hear this again. Go big. Your context is God. And understand we are post-religious here, meaning we're not caught up in religiosity. We're caught up in spirituality, which means when we use the word God, we're not talking about a man in the sky. We're talking about a presence that is never an absence, a presence of love and beauty and intelligence, a presence that never compromises nor contradicts its own nature, the same yesterday, today, and forever, is not capricious, does not need anger management, does not have chosen people. It only knows itself everywhere. It knows itself in you totally and completely. And so we are in God, living, moving, and having our beingness in this dynamic presence. We are a complete spiritual idea that is forever and ever unfolding. That is the homecoming. With every insight, with every revelation, we're more and more home in the grand scheme of things. We begin to hear what the presence through the universal laws, what it's up to. It is up to producing an individual that can perfectly reflect the cosmos in a way that has never, ever happened before, because you have never happened before. You'll never happen again. The presence of God does not do do-overs or repeats itself. So the universe is up to producing an individual that can reproduce the entire cosmos. That's why you love Jesus. That's why you love Buddha. That's why you love Zoroaster. That's why you love Walter Russell. That's why you love Kuan Yin. Because they, in their own time and way, reproduced the entire cosmos. It was called enlightenment. It was called awakened consciousness. It was called woke. That's what it is, you see. And so, you are here to reproduce the cosmos in a way that has never happened before, and that comes through a direct encounter. You've got to pray. I'm not talking begging and beseeching. I'm talking about a spiritual realization of your oneness with the presence of God. You've got to meditate. You've got to get still until that insight buries itself in your soul and you begin to see life differently. You've got the vision, so you're catching the next stage of your own unfoldment, and then you got to place yourself in some kind of service to it until it takes over your life, and then you have confidence in it. You surrender to it, the great presence that is personal yet impersonal and transpersonal at the same time. And then you will look around and see what's dying in you based on the encounter. There'll be some wailing and gnashing of teeth, yes. When those habits begin to change, you'll be like, oh, how am I going to survive without that? And you'll come to an awareness that there's something about you that existed before time began. It will begin to dictate your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And then you'll look around the world and you'll see the anxiousness and the fear and the doubt and the worry and the separation that's spewing itself into the human consciousness and becoming normal, and you'll disavow yourself from it. I'm not with the prison industry the way it is. I am not with moving through the lands of our Native American brothers. I'm not with allowing this country that has been so available to so-called immigrants to come and find a way of living here. I'm not with building barriers and borders and calling them lawlessness because they're running away from dictatorship and trying to save their lives. I'm with something else, you see. You'll be able to discern and then disavow from the nonsense. And so that the karmic retribution is just that which you put out, you get back. You're not in that, you see. Your soul is clean because you're about love and peace and joy and wisdom and harmony. There's only one race. That's the human race, you see. And now your energy itself will be a clearing house. And then you can have tough conversations with individuals that may not agree with you. You will not X them out of your heart. You'll just have a high conversation and be able to say, you don't like me because I have more melanin than you? What's that all about? Who taught you that nonsense? Let's dialogue about this. You'll have the conversations you need to have because you're clear. Not hating, clear. So that the world Remember, the world is just a network of synergetic conversations, beliefs, opinions, and points of view. That's why everybody lives in a different world on the same planet. Your world will change, and then you will represent a world that works for the highest and best within us all. You'll represent energetically that, and then be a part of the dynamic presence and power that's ushering in a greater possibility as we hospice the old, midwife the new, as a divine, energetic pattern of possibility. Look to your neighbor and say, I'm going big. I'm going home. There's so much good in me. So much power in me. So much intelligence flowing through me. Abundance is flowing through me. Inside, I have everything I need. And I'm here to make a powerful difference on this planet. Together we can. Together we will. It's happening right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Oh, touch somebody. Give somebody a high five. Feel and sense into this dynamic. Can look at the face of God and live, which is why so many people want to live from a second-hand revelation. They want to say, oh, yeah, that was good over there, but, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing right now because I don't want to change too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to lose my fun. No, you're not. And you have a direct encounter with the presence. You enter into the land of bliss, ecstasy, a perennial joy that does not come from circumstances. It comes from your being. And we want individuals to catch that and live from that dynamic. Do you realize that? Okay, I'm going to close some. But you realize that if you go into prayer and meditation, you'll produce your own DMT. Do you understand the brain does that? There are people taking it. All you got to do is be still. Your body will produce it itself. You don't have to take it. How silly is that? Human beings, the body temple can produce tonic chemicals and everything that is necessary for an inner joy and a peace and an ecstasy. There are no shortcuts to eternal bliss. There aren't any shortcuts to perennial happiness. It's a direct route, yes. It's called encounter through spiritual practice. And there's no side effects. Oh my God. None. There's no side effects. Oh, there's so much. I'm talking, if you have a direct, the only side effect is that which is limiting you will be dissolved. That which is hindering you will be revealed and healed. That's the side effect of an encounter. That's the side effect. That's a side effect. And so we turn within in this moment. Oh, I love God. I love life. I love beauty. I love joy. I love the presence. I love you. And I don't have to say, Jesus loves you. I love you. I don't have to hide behind that. I can say I love you, and Jesus loves you too, and Buddha loves you too. They all love you. But do you love your neighbor? Do you love your neighbor? We know Jesus loves your neighbor, but do you? Personal revelation so that you can develop a much larger echo chamber that feeds back to you inspiration, feeds back to you guidance and direction, that helps you break free from the narrow paradigm, the limited perception, so that you can spiral up and keep expanding. That you can see. Open my eyes that I may see the glory I had with thee before the beginning of time. Open my eyes that I may see true reality, not my perception of it. That I may be slain in the spirit of excellence and be renewed moment by moment, all needs met in a powerful and wonderful way. Oh my God. We turn within in this instant, and as we turn away from the external, that's what turning within means. You can do it with your eyes closed. Something happens when your eyes close. If you can close your eyes, if you're working with our silent light ministry, you may not want to close your eyes, but you close an outer eye or turn within. We begin to give thanks for a life and a presence and a love. And sometimes we take our life for granted. We develop an echo chamber that allows us to only look at the mistakes, only look at what seeming failures, only look at what's not going right. And sometimes we miss a whole life in which so much went right. So we're grateful that we're alive. We're grateful. We're thankful. We're appreciative. In this feeling dynamic of gratitude and thanksgiving, we so recognize the presence that we see it everywhere. And we develop the habit of looking for it everywhere. We break free of the habit of a hyper-critical nature, fear, doubt, and worry. We develop a whole new habit. Oh, where's God? Where's the blessing in this? Where's love in this? Where's joy in this? Where's power? Where is it? It's got to be here. Where is it? I'm developing a whole new habit with the mind, you see. And in this moment of recognition, there's a great unification that takes place. Consciously, that is. I'm at one with God. I'm one with God. I'm one with God. I'm one with love. I'm one with peace. I'm one with power. I'm one with abundance. I'm one with prosperity. I'm one with health. I'm one with wholeness. I'm one with intelligence. I'm one with joy. I'm one with brilliance. I'm one with life itself. Oh, I'm one with God. And from this consciousness of unity, the word is spoken. Oh, it's a rebroadcast of the only word that there is, the word of God. But we don't step that word down. We hear, magnify. Magnify. Go forth and magnify the Lord. Magnify the word. Magnify the brilliance. So, surrounded by this united state of consciousness, we magnify the word of God for each of us, representing the one of us here. Let there be health. Let there be harmony. Let there be well-being. Let there be prosperity. Let there be joy. Let there be resurrection. Let there be regeneration. Let there be renewal. And let it begin right now in all of us. Every organ, action, function of the body temple is made whole. Mental body is clear. Emotional body pure. Body of our affairs reflecting the elegance and the order of the universe. Oh, whoa, whoa, it's all happening right now. We are enthused with our love for excellence, our love for the presence. So much. We enter into the gates with praise and thanksgiving. We're enthusiastically in love with the presence and give rich thanks. Oh, feel it. Arnett, give me a little feeling tone. Give me a taste.
Somebody hurt your feelings. Somebody hurt your pride. Somebody disappointed you. And somebody fed you lies. Our hardest lessons are our greatest blessings. Love is your grace. Surrender is your way. Reveal it to heal it. Yes. Let go Yes, you will. Get to the other side with love, love. Don't you know, Agape, you can heal your heart with love. You can heal your hurt with love. You can heal your pain with love. You can heal your shame with love. Reveal it to heal it. Oh, let go of useless pride. No more need to hide. Reveal it to heal it. Yeah, you gotta go through it, grow to it. Love is your guide. You get to the other side.
That's a truism right there. You got to grow through it to get to it. We take the hand of the being next to us, and for just a moment, we magnify the Word of God through this dynamic prayer vortex. Prayer is not a wimpy, sentimental thing. Prayer is allowing ourselves to have a conscious connection with the presence and to have a realization that all of our needs are met on every level of our existence. It's not praying to God. It is praying and having a connection with the presence. So ultimately, we're praying from our God connection.